Okay, I'll break right here.
Okay.
We'll go through this very quickly and we'll break. The old AASHTO methodology, the pavements last even with maintenance about 20 to 25 years. The perpetual road, which means that now we have a better design tool, and like it's basically the same material but different cross section. And you don't have a thing, otherwise I'll draw it here for you. The perpetual road can last, if you do it right, 75 to 100 years with very little maintenance. So this is the current trend in sustainability, to be able to maintain our pavements and do our pavements. I'm just going to show you that as part of your thing. Okay, I'm going to talk about these 3 slides and we're going to break as Professor said. Remember the old axiom, it says if you can measure, you can manage. So we can do all these good things, and we all have good intentions. But if we cannot measure how successful are we in changing stuff, we cannot manage it. We don't know if the policy is effective or if you have smart or whatever. For that reason, we have established this organization. It's in the handout, and you can put it down also, look them up, sustainableinfrastructure.org. A good friend of mine, Tim Somas, who's Somas Engineer founder, is the president of this. He started this, and they pretty much are now going to show you this. They pretty much are now going to a rating system. Any transportation system that wants to come online, they start rating it. They look at the quality of life, they look at all the, let me show you actually the matrix that how grades it. They look at like the quality of life, the land development, the recyclable material, the water issues, the community resources, and then they give it score. And then each project is a score based on sustainability. How many of you are familiar with LEED, L-E-E-D? There is a LEED rating for buildings, that the building is LEED rated. It means that the building is sustainable, it's not sustainable, it's sustainable. Pardon?
Next lecture.
The next lecture, yeah, you're going to get into that. This tries to do what LEED is doing for building, for infrastructure, transportation infrastructure, not all infrastructure, transportation infrastructure. And and they come with all these recognition levels, and they say, okay, this is a platinum award for this road, this is a bronze level for this bridge, or whatever. And that's an effort that we have undertaken the last 5-6 years. And the future of this infrastructure is going to be different. You're going to see a lot of different things. You're going to see rooftops of the photo panels. You're going to see a lot more vegetation and a lot more. Let's talk a little bit about cars, which obviously, as we said, 25 to 27% of greenhouse gas emissions in Southern California are caused by automobiles, right? It was a lot worse. In the 80s, we used to have 100 days of what we call the smog alert. You guys even know what a smog alert is? No, you guys don't. Why? Because we don't have a smog alert.
I did last lecture on the PSI, Pollution Standard Index. You know, talk about the things like the Dow Jones. I gave the examples.
Yeah, but you guys don't remember if like in the 80s we had 100 days of a smog alert in Southern California.
I think you did a lecture on the pollution, isn't it? Maybe you got another class. I'm sorry. Another class. Yeah, okay.
By the way, a question for you for sustainability to think about it, because everyone is talking about these greenhouse gases and all these pollutants causing the hole in the ozone layer and all that. Just think, why don't all these greenhouse gases escape through that ozone hole? That's a silly joke. only an environmental scientist will have it. But the car is still today a status symbol. More than, in addition, I should say more than, in addition to a mode of transportation, right? So the status symbol was that Corvette that I screwed up the picture, that big 10 miles a gallon, high power, lots of pollutant and all that. But we are going through a cultural shift also. I would like to make the analogy of cars to smoking, okay? When I was your age, it would have been okay maybe to smoke it in the class. My professors used to smoke. I had a calculus professor who was a chain smoker, and he was Russian, and you couldn't even understand. He had this thick Russian accent, and you couldn't understand him even when he wasn't smoking. And he would have a smoke, he had like this camel, and he would just ride, and he would blabber, and you wouldn't hear a word. It was very acceptable to smoke, even for professors in the class. Now, how many of you smoke here? Don't worry, I'm not going to take you against. I'm a reformed smoker myself. How many of you smoke? It's not cool anymore. It's not cool anymore. We have done a cultural shift. We are doing the same thing with cars. Maybe it's not cool anymore to have those glass holders. It's not. When you look at someone driving a Hummer, maybe in your heart you say, dumbass. Why is he driving a Hummer? Why is he wasting all this energy when he can have something like this? You're going through a culture of changing cars. There are variations. These are the cars that we have in our company, and I took a couple of pictures of what we're using. There are a lot of new car technology on the market. I am going to give you these books after we're done. So this book, the first chapter of that I write for the club, I go through explanation of the alternative fuel vehicles, what they are, what kind they are, and then the last part are automotive people put it together. And that is what we call a green car guide. That we rank cars based on their carbon footprint and all that. This is a 100% electric car, okay? I have driven it myself from our office in Costa Mesa to Dallas. What is the problem? Okay, first of all, how many of you know what is the range of this thing?
30 miles maybe?
No, it's 100 miles. Oh. On a full battery, you can go 100 miles. What is the average commute distance in Southern California? 30 miles. So most people can use this car very conveniently for commute, at least for commute from home to work, right? And they have a second car anyways that they used to go to Vegas and camping and whatever. So why don't people buy these? It's a funny looking car. They think you're going to look like that dude over there. And then they think it's not reliable, it's perfectly reliable.
They probably also think it's not safe, because I mean, if you drive next to a Hummer in that...
In its class, it's as safe as any other car in its class, because the cars are categorized in their own classes. You can't compare this, the safety of this, to a, say, a 4Runner or Pathfinder SUV, but this is perfectly comparable to a Toyota Tucson. In this class, it's as safe as Toyota Tucson. This is perfectly fine, some of the reasons. And then how long does it take to charge the battery in these things? You know, by the way? Depends on the voltage. In the book, I explain it. If it's 110 volt, it takes 22 hours. It's very long. On the 240, it takes maybe about 6-7 hours. If you have a 480 outlet, this can charge from 20% to 80% in 30 minutes. And it's free. Most of the places you go, Costco and places like that, is free. If that's not your appetite, then the first one that I showed you were Prius. They were the hybrid, right? The hybrid cars run on both electric and gasoline, right? And the second one was pure electric. This is a combination. This is the combination that is running hybrid, but at the same time you can plug it in. It says plug in. We never could get 100 miles on this, okay? The manufacturer says it is. The best test that we did, we got like 75 miles on this, okay? But this is a plug-in hybrid. This is a combination of hybrid, which is a Prius, and a purely electric. It means that you can run it as a hybrid, or you can plug it in at home, or whenever there is a charging station. So these are the new generations of the cars coming in. The fleet is changing. You can see UPS has the most ambitious plan that they're using the low-emission hybrid electric trucks. These are trucks, large trucks, they're cargo trucks. And we have other things like natural gas vehicles and hydrogen cars, which are very rare. The bottom line is that cool has started looking very different. It's not those gas haulers, it's not a Corvette, it's not a Trans Am, it's not a Hummer. People are now looking, this is cool, your generation, this is the cultural change. It's not cool anymore to have yellow fingers, you're a smoker. It's not acceptable. It's not cool with the new generation to have those gas haulers. Your status symbol is changing. we have to go through that education when it comes to sustainability in our transportation.